What's up, y'all? Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I want you to hit that like button, sub to the channel if you are not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get all of my content and as well as all of my videos. Okay. Now, salute to the whole entire LDBC basketball as well as boxing community, and salute to all of the people that's been rocking with me day ones as well as the new subs. Before I get this video started, man, let me give a shout out to two of the brothers that I saw talking about this first. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the brother uh, BJ at the Pull Up Podcast. If you're not sub to the Pull Up Podcast, definitely go sub to his channel. And also want to give a shout out to the brother Too Raw for TV. I saw him talking about this too as well. Definitely go sub to Too Raw for TV too as well. And if you don't know, and for those of you that probably have already seen this, Paul George is he's stopping his podcast. As you know, what's up with it, Alex? As you know, Paul George has been doing a podcast for quite some time now, but there has been a lot of criticism as to why he's not performing well on the court. And one of the things happens to be that he is more focused on doing the podcast and being in media than what he is performing on the court. Now, as you know, us as the Sixers, we're 1-9 in the last 10 games. Okay, including losing. I think it's seven straight. We've lost seven, 8 straight games. But I know that we're 1-9 in the last 10 games. Here's what I say to that. I salute Paul George for doing this. What's up, Matt Moses? I salute. Please hit that like when you come in here, please. Hit the like button when you come in. Double tap the screen. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Now, my thing is this right here. I salute Paul George for doing this. You said PG brought that stripper mentality to Philly. Well, no, listen, man. You say what you want. Paul George made it to the playoffs. They made it to the playoffs. We're on the verge of not making it to the playoffs. Um, but the thing about it is Paul George, man, what he's doing, man, is okay. It's good, but now let's see what happens after that. Now, I'm not saying that him stopping the podcast is automatically gonna it's gonna supersede us to the seventh or sixth spot or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I commend him for wanting to stay focused and at least trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? Now we'll see what happens. You still got to go out there and you still got to perform regardless. This is another thing too. You've seen guys do this before, man. They'll either shut down social media, they'll shut down their respective page or whatnot. We've seen LeBron James do it once upon a time so that they can focus on what they're doing. Listen, for some guys it'll work, and for some guys it may not work. But this is the start. You know what I'm saying? I could commend Paul George for at least trying. Now the other thing that we got to look at, and the other focus that we got to focus on is what Joel Embiid is going to do. You know what I'm saying? Because if Joel Embiid wanted to make any type of changes so that he can become better, so that he can perform better. But I have no problem with this. I commend Paul George for doing this, man. However, you still got to go out there and you still got to perform. I mean, you could shut down the podcast. You could shut down the clubs. You could shut down the drinking. I mean, I'm saying if he is if he was doing that, or an example to some of the players, but you still got to go out there and you still got to live up and honor your contract. We're not talking about a small contract, man. Okay, for those of y'all that don't know, Paul George is getting paid 212 million, and uh, for 4 seasons. And the thing about it is, a lot of people feels like the way that he's playing. A lot of people have been critical of him, the way that he's playing and stuff. They will say that he's stealing money. Now, another thing that I wanna look at too is, I'm wondering if this has to do with Paul George and maybe the Sixers organization really talking to him and letting him know what could possibly be at stakes here. You know what I'm saying? Because we're seeing Paul George, whenever he talks to the media, he does not look motivated. I've said that. There's been plenty of other people that's been able to pick up on that. My thing is this, though. My thing is this. You still got to go out there and perform. There's guys out there that have podcasts. They may have their podcast. They may be on social media, but it hasn't affected them. However, maybe this will help him. Like I said, every individual is different. But I have noticed a drop off, a significant drop off in Paul George's play. However, if you notice and you listen to me on this channel, I'll tell you that I haven't really been as critical about Paul George as a guy like Joel Embiid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't really get on Paul George, a lot, because yeah, the 2 points in 37 minutes, that didn't help his case. Also, him not being motivated, and him being out there along with Maxi and them getting beat by bad teams, that doesn't help his case. However, what I can say about Paul George is the fact that when when Embiid wasn't there, Paul George, more often than not, Paul George and Maxey showed up. You know what I'm saying? Now, has Paul George missed some games? Yes, he has. But I commend Paul George for, at the beginning of the season, at least him showing up. Now, would I like him to play better? Yes, of course I would. I would like Paul George to play better. However, I still got to go back to this. A lot of people still see this as Joel Embiid's team. Paul George, he just got to the team. And whenever you bring another guy in there, whether it's a superstar, a max player, or a perennial all star, or even a role player, you're supposed to show them the ropes. You're supposed to show them what the culture is, um, at that particular franchise or whatever. And let's just be honest, the Sixers really don't have any type of organization whatsoever. They don't really have any structure. You have Maxi, who's trying to bring structure. You see Maxi in the gym. You see Maxi working out. You see Maxi focused and dedicated. You know what I'm saying? Not living on social media or making a whole bunch of podcasts or whatever. Maxi wants to fucking win games. And I think Paul George is taking notice of that. He notices the younger guys. That's why with Paul George, I think he notices a guy like a McCain, who he's not playing because of him being out for the season. But Paul George was very vocal as to how um, what you call. I'm sorry about that. I got a message as to how the young guys have been more of leaders than the veterans, and that's how it's been. So Paul George making strides, and him, shutting down the podcast and everything, because people have been critical about it. I've said it, as a talking point a couple of times. If you would be more focused on, if you would be more focused your uh, on your craft instead of the podcast, then maybe we would see, more improvements and stuff like that. Now, like I said, we're 12th right now, currently in the East. I don't know what's to come of it. Maybe we can shoot, back up to possibly to play. And there's like the guys like Kendrick Perkins. He feels like, we could possibly be in a hunt for a play. And me myself personally, I don't think it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Uh, this Eastern Conference is more. Hey, what's up? What's up with? Well, hey, Brown Sugar, sweetie, how you doing? Hope you all right. Pull Up Podcast. What's up with it, man? Make sure y'all go sub to the brother BJ over there. Pull Up Podcast, man. And once again, shout out to the brother BJ, man. He was one of the ones that was talking about this first. So salute to BJ over there at the Pull Up Podcast. But like I said, man, I commend Paul George for what he's doing. Um, a lot of people have this perception that I don't like Paul George, or I hate on Paul George and all this other stuff. Nah, because I guess I'm used to seeing a Paul George that a lot of you are not used to seeing. This is not Paul George, man, at all. Paul George, if you'd have said, like, maybe about eight seasons ago, if you'd have said 2 points in 37 minutes as a Paul George stat line, man, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. If you would have said to me that Paul George is not motivated to play, I would have looked at you crazy. Because I'm not accustomed to seeing this Paul George, and I understand. And one of the reasons why I do root for Paul George, but as well as being highly critical too as well, because I'm critical on everybody. But one of the reasons why I tend to be rooting for Paul George is the fact that when he suffered that I can't even talk today. That devastating leg injury, man, a lot of people didn't think that he would even play again, much less walk. So that's why, like, I root for him, but at the same time, I can't be so sympathetic and empathetic to the point where I can't critique his play, because it does have an effect on the team. Okay, it has an effect on the team, especially when you're getting paid max dollars. You do have you have a contract. We got three max players on that team, and you're one of them. So, like I said, man, Paul George, man, he's you know he's taking steps to try to do better or whatever, and I could commend him on that. However, still got work to do, as they say. You know what I'm saying? Still got work to do. Still got to pipe down, get focused. Right now, this is the second half of the season. And like I said, man, I'll go back to the point of what LeBron has done in the past. For the playoffs, or the finals, whatever it was. Usually the playoffs. I think LeBron would shut down social media and everything. Look, man, if you're gonna do the podcast, all I say is put in more effort into your craft. If you know that you're not doing as good with your craft as you are with the podcast or whatever, that's my only thing. You still can be a human being, man. You still are a guy that likes to socialize, that likes to interview people, and just have dialogue and everything. We can't stop you from that. But the thing about it is if it's taken away from your game, if it's having an effect on you, on what you're doing on the court, then that's when it's time to go ahead and step away. And in this case, Paul George, he feels that it's time to step away. And I don't have no problem with that, man. I commend Paul George for what he's doing, man. So um, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure you share, subscribe, hit the notifications too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I'll get at y'all later.